lost to the Bucks and they lost to the Jets. So I don't really know what's going on in the AFC North. I'm kind of rooting against the Browns as a Steelers fan, but I actually think the Texans have a chance. I think it's going to be close, and even if the Browns win, it will be within a field goal. So there's my argument there. Next up, we have the other AFC North team, Bengals plus 6.5 at the Saints. I think you're out of your mind picking the Bengals in New Orleans.
I'm going against you, and 6.5 is a lot. I mean, the Saints like to keep it close.
Since he likes to keep it close?
I mean, no, Saints. I said Saints.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, the Bengals got destroyed.
I said the Saints have to keep it close.
Okay. But the Bengals just got destroyed on their home turf by the Browns. The Saints just got embarrassed at home in overtime in a game they should have won. Drew Brees, there should never have been offensive pass interference on Jimmy Graham. I think we both know that. The Saints should have won that game. Not only that, Drew Brees choked in overtime. They got embarrassed at home. They never lose at home. Yeah. So now they're playing at home again, have a chance to redeem themselves against a bad team. I think it's pretty obvious here.
All right. I mean, I'm going against you. I think Andy Dalton could bounce back here.
Andy Dalton can bounce back. The man had a quarter.
Like the worst game of all time. I get it, but we've seen Andy Dalton have good games, and I think this week he's gonna have a good game. It's just a feeling, and it's also because I have to go against you.
The Saints have a decent defense. Andy Dalton last week had a total quarterback rating of 2.0. I think he completed about 30% of his passes, threw for 86 yards, and was it 2 or 3 interceptions? I think it was 3.
I think it was 3 too.
Absolutely terrible. Giovanni Bernard has not been healthy this entire season, and Andy Dalton's playing terribly. I think it's obvious. But nonetheless, Lions plus 3 at the Cardinals. You think the Lions can beat the Cardinals? Yep. I think the Cardinals will pull it off, even with Drew Stanton, especially at home.
I think you can do it.
Is this purely because you have to gain some ground on me?
I mean, possibly.
I still think the Cardinals pull it off. It'll be a close game. I'll give you that. But the Cardinals will pull it off. And probably the biggest game of the week, Patriots plus 2.5 at the Colts. I think this is a generous line. I think the Patriots are going to win significantly. Why are you picking the Colts here?
Because I mean, Andrew Luck. I mean, the Colts right now have the best offense in the league. And I'm just have a good feeling about it. I'm liking where the Colts are going. They had a bye, so do the Patriots. I get it. I just think the Colts are good enough. I think their defense is just a bit. It's just a bit better than the Patriots, where they'll win the game and they're home. Which always gives them a team an advantage. I'm just liking Luck this game. I think this game will really separate Luck from a group of QBs and really put him in the elite spot in the NFL. I really do.
I love Andrew Luck. I really do. But I think the Patriots are on a roll right now, and I think they're going to be tough to beat. And I don't understand why they're underdogs in this game. I know that Indianapolis had at home, but the Patriots are going to be too much. For our final game, I mean, there weren't too many great games, so maybe in the homer I threw the Steelers in there just to test Snowball's loyalty to his promise that he made a couple weeks back that he would pick the Steelers every week for the rest of the season. Steelers -5 at the Titans.
I did say that.
The Steelers got embarrassed by the Jets. I was there. A few tears were shed against a crappy team that the Ravens beat last week. I don't know how many of you heard John Harbaugh's rant in the locker room after he specifically asked CBS not to air it. They aired it anyway. He basically called out the Steelers, saying Steelers, Jets, and Ravens, Titans were equal games. The Steelers embarrassed the Ravens the week before, and the Ravens ended up getting the job done. So he was basically saying the Ravens were a better team, which we both know is not true. Steelers bouncing back. The score for the Steelers Jets was 20-13. I was there. It was not that close at all. The Jets dominated that game. I think the Steelers just underestimated them. All credit to the Jets. I don't love their fans, but the team beat us, and I'm fine with that. Steelers are going to come back, beat the Titans in Tennessee. Hopefully the Browns lose, and we'll be tied again for division lead. Sorry for any of you who think I'm objective at all, because I'm not. I'm a diehard Steelers fan. And we both know if the Giants were any good this year, Snowball would be the same. He's nodding in agreement. Now on to college football. I'll just update you guys on the scores, because they do affect the rankings quite a bit this week. As we said, the big upset of the day was number 5 Alabama beating number 1 Mississippi State 25-20. Just to wrap up the rest of the top 25, Virginia Tech, they are unranked, beat Duke 17-16. Duke is ranked number 21 this year. Probably going to fall after that. Number 22 Georgia Tech upset number 19 Clemson 28-6. Huge defensive battle for the first quarter. Really first half. It was 9-3 at halftime. And Georgia Tech just exploded in the second half. Ended up winning 28-6. Wisconsin, we talked about Melvin Gordon rushing for 408 yards on 25 carries. Number 20 Wisconsin upset number 16 Nebraska 59-24. Great day for Melvin Gordon. I think he'll be in the I don't know what I'm saying, the Heisman conversation come the end of the season. Number 14 Arizona barely beat unranked Washington 27-26. Number 8 Ohio State beat number 25 Minnesota 31-24. That was a really close one. A lot of Ohio State fans were nervous watching that. Now, number 4 TCU. I'm going to argue their number 4 ranking right after this. But number 4 TCU barely beat Kansas. It was unranked. They're 3-7. 34-30. Then that's all. Oh, there's one more final. Northwestern, who's unranked, upset number 18 Notre Dame 43-40 in overtime. Notre Dame shouldn't even be ranked. Their most impressive game was a game they lost against Florida State. Florida State's overrated too. Notre Dame's just not as good as you'd think they are. Sorry to say it. Let's just update you on the games going on right now. Georgia, my Georgia Bulldogs, number 15 in the country, up on number 9 Auburn 17-7 at halftime.
Your Georgia Bulldogs?
Yeah, they're my Georgia Bulldogs. You didn't know that?
I learn something new every day about you, Nick.
Yeah. You know what they say, you learn something new every day. Maybe. And that's yours for today. Miami, up 13-0 on number 3 Florida State. Just finishing up the first quarter. I would love to see Miami pull that one off. Florida State does not deserve to be number 3 in the country at all, despite being 9-0. They almost lost to Louisville. They almost lost to Notre Dame. They might lose to Miami tonight. So interesting to see how that turns out. Almost done with the first quarter. Michigan State, number 12, is up 6-0 on Maryland. About halfway through the first quarter, number 17, LSU is losing to Arkansas 3-0. I guess they'll be heading into overtime in Stanford. They're tied with number 23 Utah 7-all. With the 22 seconds left in the fourth quarter. I don't know if they're driving or anything. I'll check in on that. 5 minutes to go in the second quarter for Missouri and Texas A&M. Number 24, Texas A&M is up 10-3 right now. And then later on tonight, we have number 6, Arizona State at Oregon State at 10:45. So we'll update you on the finals. A lot of upset alerts going on right now. And I'm just going to check in on Utah Stanford and make sure no one's driving right now.
Let's charge up our...
Doesn't look like it. So we'll update you on that once that goes into overtime. Well, let's go to our rankings. Snowball, I'm going to start with you. Who's your
Yeah,
top four right now?
can't do one right now for college football. It's just too crazy right now. Now that Mississippi State lost, I really can't tell you the playoffs.
That is the
Florida State is probably gonna be number one, but honestly, that's really it.
Florida State.
Alabama probably gets is it 2 seed? But I cannot tell you 3 or 4.
Okay. Well, I'm going to give you my top four.
Okay.
I have number 1, Alabama. Number 2, Florida State. Number 3, I think Mississippi State still stays in there. And number 4, I have Baylor. Now, Alabama's a way better team than Florida State. Florida State's 9-0, but they haven't really beaten anyone significant. They've actually almost lost to a lot of lesser opponents. So they're number 2. Alabama's they're a really good team. They beat Mississippi State. Their only loss to Ole Miss, which Ole Miss is a pretty good team. I have no problem with that loss. And same thing with Mississippi State. Their loss to Alabama, pretty good team, and I have no problem with that. Mississippi State, though, the problem with them is that they will play Ole Miss, and they might. And you brought this up earlier. They might not have a chance at the SEC championship.
Alabama has to lose to Auburn.
So it all comes down to the Iron Bowl for Mississippi State. When your destiny is not in your own hands.
And it's got to be Ole Miss, too.
Yeah. So when your destiny is not in your own hands in college football,
it's tough.
You're definitely not number 1, in my opinion. Now, the problem I had with... I saw the rankings come out Tuesday. Why was TCU number 4 and Baylor, I think they were number 7 going into today? They both have the same record, but Baylor beat TCU. Now, if you look at their schedules, they're about the same.
TCU, I think, is an offensive powerhouse. Really. Because they're scoring like crazy right now.
But if, Baylor is number 1 in the Big 12, TCU is number 2 in the Big 12. So why does it make sense that TCU is...
Go ask Condoleezza Rice and friends. I mean, they are the playoff committee. So.
It's ridiculous because look, if you look at their schedules, they both played cupcakes week 1. Baylor beat SMU 45-0. TCU beat Samford 48-14. Then they play Minnesota, Northwest. They played all these pretty bad teams. When they played each other, TCU won. Baylor beat TCU. TCU has had a slightly better schedule, but they've had a lot of closer games. They barely beat Kansas today, so I think Baylor should be ahead of TCU come this week. I mean, Baylor dominated Oklahoma 48-14. TCU beat Oklahoma 37-33. So just by that, I think Baylor gets the edge. Oregon's still in the conversation. I don't think they cracked the top 4 just yet. Depending on Mississippi State later in the year, Oregon might get into the playoffs. But that's my rankings for right now. Like we said, CB got concussed last week, so we're giving him...
Did we do a thing on Florida State? We talk about Florida State. Because they are losing right now 16-0.
Yeah. They're losing to Miami right now.
Okay.
It's 16-0 just starting the second quarter. Now, like we mentioned, CB got concussed last week, so we're giving him until game time tomorrow for his...
And Stanford's going to OT.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Okay.
So we're giving him till game time tomorrow for his NFL picks. We'll give him till Tuesday for his NCAA picks. It's only fair. I got concussed one time. It's terrible. You can't do anything. But we're gonna move on to the hometown roundup. Snowball, you're the Rutgers guy, so I'll hand that one over to you.
All right, so Rutgers, they did win today. It may have been against a bad Indiana team, but it was a good win nonetheless because now they were bowl eligible. So you'll see Rutgers in a bowl game this year, which is great for the Rutgers program. I mean, this was a team that most guys thought were going to be last in the Big Ten. Beat Michigan, who's been struggling in Indiana, the second one in the Big Ten. They're now 6-4, as I said, bowl eligible. Gary Nowak was okay, 16 for 27, 217 yards, 2 touchdowns. And rushing, Robert Martin had 3 rushing touchdowns, Hicks at 114 rushing yards. So it was a good, solid win for Rutgers. As I said, 45-23. It's a good win, and we're going to see him in a bowl game, so it was good. And moving on.